I will get certain members on the other side irate because they've threatened me already. In particular, my good friend, the member for St. Philip South, that if I come here and speak truth, that he's going to get personal and nasty. Madam Speaker, I will not reduce myself to that. I will not. I have no brief for no one. When I come here, I come to do the people's business. And Madam Speaker, the UPP government, thank you, the Sunshine government wants to play political gods, but they do so in a most insidious way. In a most insidious way, they pretended they giveth on one hand, and at the same time they taketh, Madam Speaker, on the other hand. So they give children school meals, and they give children uniforms, and they say, oh, we are doing so much for the poor. But then at the same time, they condemn the poor, Madam Speaker, and the working class, Madam Speaker, to eternal poverty and servitude by condemning them with higher utility bills every day, and increased taxes upon the backs of poor, ordinary working class people and the middle class. And as I see it, Madam Speaker, and I'm passionate about it, this Sunshine administration that campaigned for People First platform, the sunshine rays is only shining on a select few, a chosen few. And that select few, Madam Speaker, that select chosen few, they're eating their economic influences. They're eating at the very heart of the cabinet, the government of the day, and the very fabric of our democracy, the very fabric of our society. They're using their money and their wealth to influence every single decision in this country. So while they're the chosen few are sustaining under the largesses of the state, the poor and working class people have been left in the rain, in the thunder, and in the bolting lightning, betrayed by empty promises, betrayed, Madam Speaker, by empty promises of the UPP government in their agenda for change, where they got a mandate to represent the people of this country. They're not representing the people. The logic, Madam Speaker, the common sense of this budget, some of the pronouncements in Budget 2007, with the greatest respect to the member, needs to be relegated to the dustbin, the economic dustbin of practical economic history of this country, Madam Speaker. But this is supposed to be serious business, the parliamentary debate of 2007. So, Madam Speaker, we will leave some of that and consider now what we are actually hearing from the learned, or what we heard from the learned Finance and Economy Minister. And with your permission, Madam Speaker, he tells us that the people from whom he's taken $42.6 million a year in personal income tax, $42.6 million in personal income tax that they did not pay for 29 years. They now have more money than ever, all of a sudden, more money. And they're so happy with their new tax burden. They're so pleased that they're lining up at the banks downtown in High Street for mortgages. They've never saved so much more before. So they want mortgages to build their homes and buy their vehicles. But while the disposable income, Madam Speaker, of those forced by law to pay the new taxes may be better than ever in the illusions of the Honourable Finance Minister, they tell us they're actually borrowing more money from the bank for consumer durables. The pronouncements of deception in this budget is so glaring. It's a direct assault on the intelligence of all right-thinking people, the resilience of people. And the deceptions are numerous enough, Madam Speaker, to trap them all themselves in their own web of lies for which you will pay, Mr. Prime Minister, a very dear price at the next general election. Very dear price. What we heard in the campaign trail of 2004, Madam Speaker, is totally different than what we are told now. For the last 2 years and 8 months, the UPP, every single year, every single day, and the member said it earlier, we brought the economy to an economic precipice. We bankrupt the economy. There was no money in the treasury. And yet, Madam Speaker, without doing anything great to improve the revenue generating capability of the economy, as the member said, the UPP government was able to extract from the very same collapsing economy that it claims the ALP left behind record-breaking new government revenues.